Hey y'all, welcome back to Taya's Travel Tips. Get my hair in my face. Anyway, so today we are in beautiful Roatan. So this is Honduras. This is Carnival's port in Honduras. So this is only if you're on a Carnival Corporation brand. That's the shipwreck they talk about in the port. So if you go on Norwegian or Royal or I think almost any other ship, you go to Coxon Hole, I think is the name of it. Anyway, so this is Mahogany Bay. So this is a completely different place. It is Carnival owned. You only come in here if you are on a Carnival Corporation ship. So that means Carnival, Holland America, Costa, Cunard, I know I'm not saying that right. Those brands of ships. So if you're on a different brand, but that's not Carnival owned, you're not gonna come here. Anyway, I love this port. This is actually one of my favorite ports to come to because I'm on the opposite side of the ship. So we are on the, I don't know if we're port or starboard, but we're off the port. So the port is on the other side of the ship. Anyway, so they have a beach. So you do not have to have an excursion. You do not have to have a special ticket. You don't have to have anything. And you get to go to the beach. So that's a very fun, very easy place to just walk to. Granted, from the ship to the beach and back, it's probably about 2 miles. Probably about a mile there and a mile back. And it is uphill and downhill, both ways. So the easier way to do that would be to purchase an excursion through Carnival, and normally it's called Magic Carpet Ride or something like that. It's like a ski lift that takes you from the shopping center about half a mile closer-ish, maybe a little bit more, to the beach. It drops you off right on the sand. So it is good if you have someone that really wants to go to the beach but just can't walk that far and then enjoy it, which is fine. So today we actually went around this port for the first time with a scooter. There's a lot of steps that most places have a handicap accessible entrance, but the stores are not made for wheelchairs. So we left my mom's scooter outside. Took the key out, put it in neutral, no big deal. I do think it either got too hot or something because I had to push it back. Do not recommend that. Anyway, but it is very pretty. You can also do excursions. There's a lot of like sloth stuff here, monkeys, snorkeling. We actually seen, without snorkel gear or anything, I seen fish swimming. Little teeny tiny fish swimming at the beach. It is harder to get in and out. It's not just one of those like, oh, it's so pretty. Now, I wore shoes. We haven't always worn water shoes when we've come here. It's not a big deal. You can snorkel, especially if you get here early. And there is not a whole lot of people here. I'm going to sit down. But anyway, the water is very good. You can snorkel. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. You're not allowed to bring shells back on the ship unless they are bought from like a store, which means they were like cleaned and done correctly. For the most part, we have not had any issues with the stores selling something that we could not bring on the ship. We had one issue in the Bahamas somewhere where we bought a fake wooden sword and we did get it confiscated. But Carnival did send us the money back for it, so that was good. Anyway, there was quite a few excursions that looked really good, but I just didn't do any this time. When we come back in a few months, I will probably do some excursions and then be able to tell you all about that. There's one store here that has 4 for $20 t-shirts, and they have them up to 6X. They have alcohol, like liquor, for between $10 and $15 a bottle. Is really good. Diamonds International has Tanzanite starting at like $100. So that's something else that's really good. Caraloha sheets. So these are all of these things that I'm telling you are the things that Carnival pushes. And we actually did buy quite a bit of the stuff today that Carnival like endorses. Like we bought, I don't know, $350 ish in tanzanite today, and it was really, really pretty. We didn't get the highest quality stones. We just got very light stones, and the darker they are, the higher value they have. But the Caraloha sheets, I've been wanting to buy them for a while, and I just splurged. Del Sol's t-shirts start at about $21 a piece for one. But that is in Roatan, Mahogany Bay, Honduras. So this was quite a bit of stuff. So I do feel very safe at the port. It was a good time. All the people are super nice. We had a security guard asked, when we went to the beach, where could I park my mom's scooter? And I was like, hey, can I park it over here? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Do you need help parking it? Can you drive it? And I'm like, yeah, I got it. And he was super helpful. My mom got in the water, just like ankle deep. And when she was getting out, another security guard guy helped her out and made sure she could get back on the more solid sand. But we had a great time. Everyone was super nice. No complaints. And I have to say, because of the free beach and the availability of cheaper souvenirs, like the 4 for $20 t-shirts, and they're not just like the white ones. Like in Cozumel, sometimes they have a really cheap t-shirt, but it's only white and it's only printed in black and it's very plain and it looks cheap. And they had some tie-dyed shirts. They have some graphics that were tie-dyed, and I know tie-dye is very, very in right now. And they have a lot of stuff. And they have maps you can buy. They also had coffee, chocolate. They had like daiquiris you could buy. Anyway, so very good, very fun. The only don't recommend experience here that I've had was Del Sol. The person in Del Sol was just very, you don't want to buy it, fine. And it's not like, normally you have good salespeople. Like our salesperson at Diamonds International, where we bought our tanzanite, she was like, well, what about this? What about this? Have you thought about this? This is a price point we have for that. You don't want to spend $500 on diamond studs. How about $100 on a tanzanite bracelet? I was like, show me. And then she's like, well, I can throw in this and I can throw in that, and what about this? And this is more money, but it's a better quality tanzanite. And it was just a very, very like polar opposite experience, because if I'm gonna drop $20-something on a white t-shirt at Del Sol, I need to have a good experience. And I know you're buying it because it's Del Sol and it's color changing, but I don't know. Over the course of the last year and a half, a lot of color changing stuff has appeared at like Walmart. Walmart now carries color changing nail polish, and it looks exactly the same, and it's probably a quarter of the price. So if I'm gonna buy something from Del Sol, I need a good experience, and that's just me. But 10 out of 10 recommend the beach. And then they have kayaks, and they have like clamshell covers you can rent, and they have mats you can rent, and they have paddle boards and all kinds of stuff that you can rent. I'm sure the Carnival website has more details on that, but you don't have to leave the port. You don't have to leave the port, and if you just want a beach day, you don't have to spend $1. That is one of the best things I love about Roatan. If you come and you are trying to stretch your excursion dollars, you don't need an excursion in Roatan at Mahogany Bay, because there's a beach here. But there are some cool ones that I will probably do the next couple times we come, because they look really cool. but it's not like Cozumel where you have to have an excursion or you have to go and book a tour or pay for a taxi or something like that. Here, it's a trek, but you can go to the beach and not spend $1. Anyway, I'm a little bit cheap when it comes to that, and I don't want to pay for an excursion because when we come in November, it'll be a group of 6, and we were back on the ship before 1 o'clock, and we'd spent quite a bit of time shopping, so I don't want to pay, $500 for excursions for 6 people and be ready to come back in an hour. So that is, again, something amazing about Mahogany Bay. And it's the only port I've been to that has a beach that is so accessible. There's some other ports that have water or pools or something like that, but it's more of a trek, and it's not all without leaving the safety of the gates. Like Progresso, you can walk to a beach, but you have to walk through the town. Costa Maya has a pool, but it's not a beach. I know there's some other places like other private islands, and I know this isn't considered a private island because Carnival doesn't own it. Carnival owns the port, but it is probably in my top 5 at least ports that I have been to. Very, very, very highly recommend. Anyway, see you next time on Tea's Travel Tips.